Welcome Ankur Kamboj, Chief Financial Officer of Roadzen, and Nisarg, the head of Roadzen's Drive Buddy AI. So great to have you both here and to join us. And Roadzen has just been doing so much lately in InsurTech, and I would like to shine a spotlight on one of the potential game-changing segments of the business. And this is on the eve of finalization of major regulation mandate in India that will require all commercial trucks, vans, and buses to be outfitted with driver drowsiness and attention warning systems, along with other critical road safety features. So I understand we're just months away from the installation of this mandate, and that Roadzen is the only technology company that's been validated by the Indian ministry to be able to have this. So let's do a deep dive here into this opportunity. And you could just tell me quickly the review of the technology and the driving conditions in India that inspired this mandate. Whoever would like to take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. And India is like, it has maximum number of accidents when we say it's per vehicle kind of accidents in the world. And the vehicle population is around 360 million vehicles on the road. And this results in close to 500,000 accidents every year, with a life loss of average one life lost in 3 minutes. That's a huge impact on the economy, and it impacts the GDP also. The road infrastructure contributes a lot into these accidents, but in the recent time, there are new highways, new expressways, motorways have been built in India. Now, what that causes with these high-speed highways, the driver drowsiness increases. And now that is increasingly becoming more and more driving behavior issue, right? Indian infrastructure is, again, there's a mixed kind of traffic on every road. There are like motor vehicle as well as non-motor vehicle. Now, this is the right time when Indian government has taken a stand to set up some standards to monitor these kind of behavior, and not just distracted driving, but some other parameters also, like blind spot monitoring, lane departure, etc. So we believe that the timing is very, very right, and computer vision on which Drive Buddy AI is built is the right kind of technology to take on this challenge, because computer vision is probably very good technology when you have to build a safety technology for the vehicles. The commercial vehicles, the mandate is for the sorry.
No, go ahead, finish.
Yeah. The mandate is for the commercial vehicles, which contribute around 30% of the total accidents. So it's a huge leap from the government that they are taking a step on it.
Now, what is the demonstrable proven effectiveness of this technology? Why was Roadzen the first to be approved?
All right, I'll take it up. So basically, the story revolves around in a way that we have been preparing for the regulation and the technology since very long time. And I think it got mandated and it got guaranteed in a way when European regulations applied in 2023 for all the vehicles, which ultimately gave us a strength that, okay, it will soon come to India for sure. Our overall field strength on the fleet, where we have been working with a lot of logistic customers, our deployment base in India since last 4 years, we have been learning from this 1.5 billion kilometers of data which we have collected, covering thousands of drivers driving 24 hours in e-commerce or chemical or hazardous material operations, which ultimately led us to the lot of corner cases being covered, helped us with a lot of AI improvement, and helped us to mature the technology very early on in the overall development cycle, which ultimately, when the mandate happened, we were also part of the draft committee, which was drafting the regulation, which also helped us gain the understanding that, okay, what the regulations is coming up, what are the regulations, what are the technologies required, and which ultimately gave us strength that, okay, we are certainly on the right track, that whatever we are building is something going to become mandated. And that is where we planned it in a very early on to take an advantageous and early lead. We got first validation because we were probably the first one to request for the validation, where we felt that, okay, we are ready for the regulations and we are ready for the compliances to be done. And when we started working with a lot of OEMs in India, the one of the thing which came up from them is that, kind of, why don't we get it validated? And that is where we went for the regulation testing agency, where we got the first go pass in the validation when it happened with us, and we achieved 92% of accuracies when the regulation requirements are pretty much lower than that, and which ultimately gives the confidence to us that, okay, like, our technology is pretty much ready for OEM integration, which also AR AI validated in our report whenever they prepared for our report back in 2024. And I think so. Our journey has been, like, very long since from the beginning that we have been preparing for this AI, and early on we took the advantage of our technology readiness and maturity of AI.
Now, what's the revenue opportunity from this mandate?
Yeah, so India has roughly 4 million commercial vehicles to which this regulation kind of applies to. And on an average, there are close to 1 million vehicles added every year, right? So that meant that all the manufacturers, all the tier one suppliers today want to be early adopter. They want to bring in the technology. They want to certify their vehicles for AIS 184 standard ASAP. And hence, we have seen a lot of traction in the recent weeks after the draft regulation has come out. And Nisarg has been kind of dealing with all these suppliers slash manufacturers to give them the demonstration, explain about how this impacts their vehicle and their customers of their vehicles and their journeys. So I would say that there's a lot of traction also because of the timeline, because all the new models of the vehicles need to be complied by April 26. All the existing models of these manufacturers need to be complied by October 26. So there's a timing pressure also on the manufacturers. If I talk about the revenue opportunity with our current deployments, because we have deployed close to 1,000 plus devices with large fleets, and who are also showing interest in getting these devices or increase the penetration among their fleet size. And basis our current revenue per vehicle per month, what we charge them, we believe it can be up to $200 million US kind of opportunity for us.
And I guess since technology is kind of unique and new, you've got a real competitive advantage here. There's a difficult barrier to entry for other companies.
Yeah, definitely. So I believe in terms of competitive advantage and our readiness, we have got 15 patents on the technology. We have got 2 trademarks also as an IP, out of which 3 are already awarded and 12 are in pending status. We have 5 more patent applications which are in process for drafting and application as well. So we are pretty much heavy on the patent and IP creation for this, which ultimately helps us that it also shows that, we have a depth in creating this technology, not only like, we are talking about the applications and the use cases on a top level. We have all existing customers from a big fleet companies, which are also the key accounts for all the OEMs, which is where the influencing power becomes much more important, where our existing customer who are buying from large auto OEMs will always have a say in preferring which technology works the best for them in aftermarket, what has worked for them, what does not work for them. And that also helps OEM to take a decision for the consideration of a supplier for them, which is where we believe that working with large fleet companies in India who are using majority and variety of the different vehicle from different OEMs, and they always have a preference. And that is where the influencing power from our existing fleet customers will also help in taking the decision making for OEMs to select Tribody as a technology partner for DMS and ADAS. India is actually a tricky market from the customer's perspective, where performance cost trade-off is a major point, which is where we have been so far successfully able to do it in the aftermarket, which gives me the confidence that yes, we'll be able to do it in the OEM fitment as well, where we have been able to blend the cost and a performance, whichever is required for the compliances, to go ahead with the OEM fitment solution and becoming a standard feature of the vehicle. So yes, it's basically like, when you compare ChatGPT or a DeepSeek, the feature set remains the same. So all of the competitor would come and say that, okay, we have a same feature set. the differentiation always comes at when you ask the question to ChatGPT and the same question to DeepSeek, the accuracy of the answer, which defines that, who is better. That is where I think, we have that edge that we have been learning from this 1.5 billion kilometers of data so far, with lots of drivers and thousands of drivers we have, and all this 24/7 driving drivers, which has given the edge for us to make the most precise and accurate AI, which delivers the meaningful alerts for the drivers, which helps them in terms of driver safety. And we have real use cases from our existing customers where we have been able to save 72% of accidents from their existing fleet and operations, which helps them in overall operation efficiency. So I believe we have a better competitive advantage, and we have been pretty much ready in terms of tech availability with the help of our computer vision blending and AI, which I believe will make more sense for OEMs to consider us.
Okay, interesting. So what is next then for Drive Buddy AI with regards to the mandate?
So basically, there are 5 different regulations. AIS 184, 186, 187, 188, and 172. So apart from 172, all 4 are dependent on computer vision and radar-based technologies. Where we have got already a validation for 184. We are now waiting for the validation to be done for 186, 87, and 88, where we have a technology readiness already available with us. In terms of 184 and other feature set, we have gone way beyond the requirements and regulation feature requirements. Our features in aftermarket are already apart from whatever is required for the regulation. Some of the features which are not even part of the regulation, we have been able to solve them. And drowsiness detection is basically is not a binary solution where it is like, person is drowsy or not drowsy. It is a progressive approach where we have been able to identify such cases and edge cases in terms of drowsiness, sudden sleep kind of cases, micro sleep kind of cases from the drivers when they are driving a long haul driving, which can turn fatal into road accidents in case it happens. So this is where we have got an edge. So that is where we are putting all our R&D efforts in the future, where we're trying to come up with a single box solution where we can comply with all these different regulations in a single box solution to all the OEMs, which will make things a little easier for OEM to integrate. I think other than that, regulations with the cars will also follow soon, because now it has started with the commercial vehicle, and in car, the buying in India is already happening based on the global NCAP and Euro NCAP safety rating, where people have become more safety conscious, which will drive, I think, the adoption in the PVs vehicles also. So which is where we are waiting for the opportunities in the passenger vehicle segment, where we'll also take a leap forward.
Now, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of rapid fire developments coming up for you guys. So anything else you'd like to share with investors and stakeholders about the company and where you are right now?
Yeah, so Roadzen is close to $50 million in annual recurring revenue. We are very close to break even. We are approaching it pretty soon and growing very rapidly. We deliver demonstrable real-world efficiencies, cost saving, safety to mobility as well as the insurance industry with the end-to-end AI platforms. Yes, our stock is very, very undervalued today. We are trading roughly at 1x our revenue. A 5-fold increase would really kind of bring it us at par with our peers. So considering that our stock is really at a risk-reward kind of very good level. The sell-side analysts who are covering our stock, they have targeted price benchmark of $5 to $6 as a buying price for the stock. So yes, I would say it's currently trading really under $1 a share. So it's the right time to buy. So why not go buy some?
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ankur and Nisarg, for sharing this development. Congratulations on your new deal with the Indian government. And please come and update us once it gets implemented and we can see how it's really working in the real world.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you for inviting us.